Good morning. How you guys doing? It's Mike back with the thought of the day on October 4th, 2024. First, I want to give honor and praise to Ahaya Shoahaya, Bashim Yeshaya, Rawakadash, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in Hebrew. Then I like to open with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. May your will, not mine, be done. Wow, it's Friday, man. I got a great story to talk about today. Today I want to talk about NBA player AJ Griffin retiring early from the NBA to go serve Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. Wow. Why isn't this story trending out there like all the rest of that negative is going? This young fella left the NBA after a couple years in to go serve Christ. In a statement that he read, he said, "To bring it all down to short summary, I gave up basketball to follow Jesus. I know that in a lot of people's eyes, this seems like a loss, but I want to let you guys know I'm super excited because I truly get to serve the Most High with my full. Yes, I feel like letting go of basketball is allowing me to get into full-time ministry and truly serve the Lord with all my heart and with all my time too as well. I'm just excited to where he leads me. I just want to go through the steps of how I came to the realization that I want to let go of basketball and follow God. This really has to start off with me giving my life to Christ in 2020. I truly accepted him back then, and he found me. I know we say we find God, but he finds us. Wow. All praises to the Most High for touching this young fella and putting that Holy Spirit in him and allowing him to follow Christ, because what he's saying is totally true. The Holy Spirit is inside this young fella because that's how he was able to come to that kind of conclusion. And once that Holy Spirit touched his soul, it's hard for him to deny what the Holy Spirit wants him to do. I can relate, being that when I stopped doing basketball tournaments and basically shut down B-ball Spotlight, and a lot of people said I was crazy and what is he doing, this and that, because how lucrative everything appeared to be. But when that Holy Spirit hits your soul, and and that spirit is of discernment, and you really want to follow Christ, and that spirit is telling you what it wants you to do, you try to run from it. He probably kept trying to play. He probably kept trying to rationalize why he was still doing this. Well, I need the money for my family. I need to do this and do that. But that spirit just keeps convicting you until you just be like, I gotta go. And I'm going to try to get an interview with this young fella. You know what I'm saying? I would be seeing Munch shortly, for the AAU director. This kid played in B-ball Spotlight. He's a Spotlight alum. He played for PSA Cardinals, who was formerly Team Scan. So I'm going to get in contact with his AAU director. I should be seeing him this evening, and I'm going to talk to him when we get some time about getting this young fellow on my podcast to be able to tell his story. Because, and I can imagine being in that life and seeing all the distractions and on the road and all of the commitments and all of the worldly things that come along with that lifetime. It was probably convicting this young brother's soul to stay in that, and instead of diving into what the Most High had planned for him and following Christ and him not wanting to go against the Holy Spirit. I remember when I was making a decision, and when I knew I had to stop doing tournaments and events on the Sabbath, and I tried to rationalize it, saying I needed the income. This was the way I was doing this and doing that. And the Most High provided me with another job, making far less, but it was what he wanted me to do. And then I had no excuse. And then I just started hearing in the lessons that we was having, it seemed like every lesson mentioned obeying the Sabbath and keeping it holy. And then that Holy Spirit just started convicting my spirit. And this young fella was probably going through the same thing, to walk away from millions of the world to go pursue what the Most High wants you to do. This is the story that needs to be pumped out as much as they're pumping out the Diddy and all the other mess that's going on in the world. More people need to see what AJ Griffin is doing. Young fella is showing the true sacrifice of what you make when he like when Christ was talking to the young rich guy, and the rich guy said, "How do I make it to the kingdom?" And first, Yeshua told him to follow the commandments and do it. And he said, "I already do that." And he said, "Go sell everything you got and come follow me." At that moment, he had to make that decision, and the guy didn't want to make that. The guy didn't want to follow him. And now Griffin is doing what that guy didn't do. He's giving away all of that to die full in with Yeshua HaMashiach. And when you die full in with Yeshua HaMashiach, the feeling you get of total of taking all your chips and putting it on him, you all in. Like, I don't have no plan B. I don't have no option B. It ain't nowhere else I could go. This is gonna work. I can't go nowhere else. That type of sacrifice that young fella made, man. The heaven is are rejoicing up there. The Most High is rejoicing. That sacrifice he made is gonna show so many young souls the power of the Most High and the power of Yeshua, and why it's important to follow him. And I know I would love to have an interview with this young fella so I could talk to him about when it was time when he knew to make that decision. And that Holy Spirit, I know, was eating at him, was telling him it's time, young fella. Because he said he gave his life fully in 2020. So it's 2024, so that's 4 years. So throughout those 4 years, I can imagine what he went through mentally. It was probably some nights it was hard to sleep. It was probably some nights where when he was in practice and he just was zoning out, like, I ain't supposed to be doing this. While he on the road in the hotels and traveling around, and he might be seeing some things that was ungodly, or seeing a lot of worldly activity, and it started pricking at him. I ain't supposed to be doing this. And like you guys say, if you know, you know. If you went to the Holy Spirit and you understand the discernment, you know. And this is what he's doing is what I was talking about a few years ago when I talked about the Deion Sanders thing, because it's obviously this young fella wasn't brought up in prosperity gospel. Because if he was brought up in prosperity gospel, he would have continued to dive into playing for the Atlanta Hawks and everything that came with it. He understood that I got to go the opposite way because my soul is at stake. And this is what I was trying to get you guys to see with Coach Prime. I pray that he get there one day to teach those young fellas that this is the route, what this young fella is doing. Now, I'm not saying that everybody calling will be for them to leave, but the humility and the determination to serve the Most High at any cost and to follow Christ is what this young fella is showing right now. And at the end of the day, that's the most important aspect. The most important aspect. So once again, like I said, I should see his AAU director shortly, and I should be able. I definitely want to try to bring him on. All praises to the Most High. Congrats to AJ Griffin for making that decision to go serve the Most High instead. This is Mike. Enjoy the rest of your day. Shalom.